Hey, have you ever just looked up at the sky, the big, beautiful sky, and just thought to yourself, what's inside a galaxy? What is a galaxy? Well, so what are the types of galaxies? Well, galaxies come in different shapes and sizes. There are spiral galaxies, like our own Milky Way, with beautiful swirly arms. Then there are elliptical galaxies, which look more like glowing footballs, but I think they look like lemons, but that's just my own opinion. And finally, we have irregular galaxies, which, well, they're just kind of messy looking. They don't have any kind of style, they're just very freaky, very weird kind of looking galaxies just floating around in space. Now, that brings us to the question, what are the basic structures of a galaxy? Well, every galaxy has a few main parts. We have the center, or bulge if you want to call it, which is usually packed with stars and usually has a giant black hole in the middle. But a crazy little fun fact, our Milky Way galaxy actually has a supermassive black hole in the center called Sagittarius A. And it's really big, it's supermassive. Then we have the disks, which that's where usually the spiral arms are, and this is where usually stars are born, right in the disks where those arrows are, well, the right arrow is pointing. And finally, we have the halo, which is a faint cloud of old stars and something that we can't even see. It's literally invisible, we can't see it in space, we can't see it with any kind of telescope, called dark matter. So, I want you guys to remember this, it's very important, and if you forget, you will pay.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes, you child in the front. What is your question?
What happens if you don't remember dark matter?
Now let's get moving to the star formation, the cool stuff. So, spiral arms aren't just pretty. They're like cosmic baby nurseries. That's where the gas and the dust combine together to form new stars. Sadly as is, elliptical galaxies don't really make new stars. They're kind of just old and they kind of just don't make any more new stars. I think they kind of like the last stage of a galaxy, very old. So let's talk about the Milky Way. As you know, we live in the Milky Way galaxy, which is a barred spiral galaxy. That means it has a bar-shaped center and the spiral arms are spinning out. I like to think of this as a steering wheel, only because it helps me remember, but also I think it's pretty funny. And another little crazy fact, our solar system isn't in the middle. It's actually way off to the side. It's really far in the Orion arm, right by the Perseus arm. And I like to think of it as just living in the suburbs. You know, it's in a little cool little area, and that's where we live in the galaxy. Now, an important question to think about is just how big are these things? How big are these galaxies in space and in the universe? Well, galaxies are huge, very, very huge. And the Milky Way alone has over 100 billion stars, and that's just in one galaxy. And guess what? If you thought that was a huge number of stars in the galaxy, well, there are over 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. And we thought that 100 billion was big. There's 200 trillion galaxies. So I wonder how many stars are in the galaxy just alone. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Remember that dark matter I mentioned? I mean, you better have her end up like the last guy. I mean, what last guy? It's this invisible stuff that it's kind of just everywhere. We can't really see it, and it kind of helps these galaxies hold together kind of like a cosmic glue. We still don't know exactly what it is, and we still can't really see it, but 95% of the universe is just dark matter and dark energy. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, galaxies are basically star cities, full of gas, dust, dark matter, and even secrets. So the next time that you look up at the stars or at your steering wheel, make sure your eyes are on the road, just remember you're living in a giant spinning galaxy flying through space. So that kind of wraps up this project. I had an amazing time filming this and even researching and just doing all this mumbo jumbo. So right here, boom, is where all of the work cited that I've done just to kind of help me get to where the project is. And if you have any questions, I will answer to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for letting me do this.